Vincent van Gogh said, "I dream my painting and I paint my dream." And a kid in this movie paints his dreams while he sleeps as a manifestation in real life. Welcome back, guys. It's Motion Recaps again. And today we're covering the 2016 dark fantasy horror Before I Wake. A young couple that recently lost a son adopt a new one. The kid is really sweet and everything is normal at first. However, soon things change. The couple finds out that the kid manifests his dreams while he sleeps. At first, the kid dreams about the couple's dead son, and parents get reunited for a short time with their child. However, everything changes as the kid manifests his nightmares about a terrible monster. Before we begin, feel free to subscribe to our channel and also like this video. Make sure you remain with us until the end to find out how spectacular this story is. It helps our great community to grow and enables us to strive for the highest quality content for you. So without further ado, let's dive in. A man enters a room where a kid is sleeping. He has a gun in his hand and he's ready to shoot the kid for an unknown reason. He hears some weird noises and apparently sees something. The man then points his gun at the kid, but something opens the door and he fires a shot in panic. The kid wakes up, and when the man sees it, he drops the gun crying. Natalie is working in foster care. She's talking with a couple about taking in a child from the beginning of the movie. His name is Cody, and he changed the two foster families. Natalie promises the couple that he's the good kid and that he will be perfect for them. The wife and husband are called Jesse and Mark, and they lost a son some time ago. They agreed to take Cody in, and that makes Natalie really happy because she has a soft spot for Cody. The couple gets home, and Mark installs grab bars in the bathroom, and then they take down pictures of them with their son, ready for the new beginning. However, they leave one picture with them. Jessie is visiting support therapy, and there she tells everyone how eager she is to meet Cody. Everyone is feeling happy for her. We find out that Jessie has insomnia. That night, Jessie can't sleep and she goes to the bathroom. She sees safety bars that Mark installed, and after touching one, she gets a vision of her son drowning. Tomorrow, Natalie and Cody arrive, and the couple welcomes them. Cody has only a box with him, and he shows Mark that he trusts him by giving him the box to carry. The couple shows them the house, and shy Cody is blown away by it. They show him his new room, and they tell him he can decorate it however he wants. He sees curtains with butterflies in them, and he's joyful because he loves butterflies. Later, the couple puts Cody to sleep, and when they get out of the room, he takes a box that he brought. He takes a book about butterflies, a flashlight, and an energy drink. He spends his night awake reading the book. The next day, Mark brings Cody to school. There, Cody meets his new friend Annie. That night, he takes a bath, and Jesse's constantly checking on him because of fear of losing him. Mark tells her she doesn't have to worry, and she goes to Cody's room to get his clothes ready for him. She finds his box with a book and energy drinks. However, she also finds stimulants that Cody uses to stay awake. Later, she tucks him in the bed and she tells him she found out what's in his box. Jesse asks him why he uses stimulants, and he tells her that Tanker Man visits him when he falls asleep. Jesse leaves Cody to sleep. Later, Jesse and Mark are watching a movie and a bunch of butterflies show up. Both of them are surprised and they can't figure out what's happening. Mark takes a glass to capture one for Cody. A weird black butterfly bites Jesse, and then it goes into the ceiling, where it turns into the black mass. Jesse doesn't notice a white figure behind her. Suddenly, butterflies disappear and the couple goes to sleep. Jesse is awake because of insomnia, and she gets up. She walks around the house and she sees her dead son. Tomorrow, Jesse tells that to her psychiatrist, and he explains she had a dream in which her subconscious projected her son. She picks Cody after school. They get home where Mark is waiting for them. Cody sees a picture of the couple with their son, and he asks about him. They tell him that his name is Sean and that he's in heaven. Cody tells them that his mother is in heaven, and everyone feels each other's pain. A night falls and Cody is in deep sleep. The couple sees butterflies and then they see Sean. They can't believe it. They hug him tightly, but he disappears when Cody enters the room. He apologizes to them, and then he takes an energy drink from the fridge. In bed, Jessie figures out that Sean appears when Cody is sleeping. She tells Mark that she wants to see her son again. Cody apologizes to them during breakfast. Jessie waits for Cody after school and they get back home. Cody and Mark play some games, and then Jessie plays a VHS tape of one Christmas morning for Cody. Sean was alive then. Jessie wants to give Cody more thought about her dead son so he can dream about him. That night, tons of butterflies appear, and the couple relives their memory as Sean appears. Christmas tree appears too, and Sean runs to open his gift. Mark knows that this is not right, and he calls Sean by the name of Cody, and Sean looks at him before he disappears. Near Cody's room, tons of moths are gathering and they turn into the Canker Man. who slowly gets near Cody and whispers to him he will always be with him. Tomorrow at school, Cody draws Cankerman and then he scrambles it. Annie asks him what he's doing and he explains to her that keeps Cankerman away. Then he continues to draw and scramble. Mark picks him up and when they get back home, he gets mad at Jesse because he returned all the pictures of them with Sean. They argue that night and Mark takes down the pictures. He tells Jesse not to use Cody in that way and that she needs to move on. Cody brings a butterfly to his school, but a little deviant devil called Tate breaks it. Cody pushes him and Tate is ready to fight. However, Annie interferes and she takes Cody to the classroom. During their calls, Annie notices Cody is giving his best not to fall asleep. After the class, Cody asks the teacher to nap a little in the classroom and she tells him he can't take a nap. Cody falls asleep and Tate sneaks in to get his revenge but jokes on him. Cankerman appears and he attacks him. Annie sees everything and her screams wake Cody. Jesse comes to get Cody home and he tells her that Tate has vanished. That night, Cody puts the coffee in a glass of water and he drinks it, intending to stay awake. Jesse makes coffee for herself because she wants to see Sean. Cody is reading a book in his room and he hears a weird noise. Suddenly, an evil creature that looks like Tate attacks him. Jesse wakes up and she sees Sean. He constantly repeats the sentence, "I'm awake." Jesse quickly gets upstairs and she wakes Cody up. Tomorrow at work, Jesse takes a prescription for pills that'll help Cody sleep. At home, Mark goes to Cody's room to wake him up for school, but Cody is already awake. He tells Mark that he feels sick and he asks him if he can skip school today. Mark tells him it's okay and that he will take it to the store to buy some things for his room. They come back only to find a police officer and a detective waiting for them to ask them a few questions about that. Later, Mark and Cody build a car bed which Mark bought him. Jesse comes home and they get downstairs to eat. Mark tells her about the police and that makes Cody nervous a lot, and he tries to change the topic by asking them questions. He asks them how Sean died. They don't give him an answer. Instead, Mark tells him to set up the table. That night, Jesse puts a pill into Cody's milk. Cody and Mark are painting his room and Jesse comes in with a cake in the milk. She gives it to them and Mark notices she's acting strange. After some time, Mark puts Cody to bed and he answers him to a question he asked earlier about Sean. Soon, Cody falls into a deep sleep. Mark and Jesse are talking downstairs and suddenly they see Sean standing next to a box. However, this time he's different. He pukes brown goo on Jesse and his eyes turn white. Mark immediately goes to check Cody. Slowly, Cankerman emerges out of the box. Jesse tries to run and Cankerman goes after her. She escapes into Cody's room. Mark can't wake Cody up and he finds out that Jesse gave him the pill. Cankerman gets into the room and he grabs Mark. Jesse tries to save her husband, but Cankerman pushes her away and she loses consciousness. Cankerman kills Mark by morphing with him. Jesse wakes up to see Cody talking to 911. The police come and the detective tells her they will take Cody away from them because of the incident. Tomorrow, Jesse finds Natalie and she tries to talk about Cody with her. However, Natalie is mad and disappointed. She recommends some group therapies to Jesse and tells her she doesn't want to see her again. Jesse is in her car and we find out that she stole Cody's foster files. There, she finds out that a wife from the first foster family disappeared under strange circumstances. She gets surprised. She finds out that the husband from the first family is in a mental hospital and she goes there to visit him. That's the guy from the beginning of the movie. Jesse talks with him and reveals how she knows about Cody's dreams. The man tells her how he was amazed when he saw how Cody's dreams came true. However, he was horrified by his nightmares. Then he tells Jesse a story of how his wife disappeared. Cankerman snatched her. The man then tried to force Cody to have dreams of her, but his manifestation of the wife was bad. As time passed, he got sick of Cody and he wanted to kill him, but he couldn't do it. He tells Jesse that he regrets that because then he could save the next family. Then he asks Jesse to kill Cody. She leaves without a word. Jesse manages to find out who Cody's mother is and she visits the hospital in which his mother has been. Jesse manages to get access to the mother's old belongings. She finds her notebook there. Cody is in the safe house and there a doctor tells Natalie that Cody didn't sleep for 2 days. They give him a large dose of sedative. Jesse arrives there and she sees moths are gathering around, which means that Cankerman is near. She gets upstairs and there she finds Natalie warped in a cocoon. Jesse arrives in a room with a bathtub in there and Cankerman plays some tricks with her by recreating a scene of Sean's drowning. In the next room, she sees a creepy version of herself and Sean. Out of nowhere, a creepy version of Mark appears. She closes the door and continues to wander around looking for Cody. Eventually, she comes across Cankerman who attacks her, but she pulls out a moth plushie. Cankerman stops and Jesse hugs him. Suddenly, Cankerman turns into Cody, and Jesse takes him out of the building. Natalie catches up to her, but she lets Jesse go with Cody. The next day, Jesse tells a story to Cody about his mother who got cancer and died. Canker was Cody's mispronunciation of the word cancer, while the appearance of Cankerman is like his mother during her chemotherapy. The movie ends as Jesse tells a bedtime story to Cody. They're now a happy little family. And there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and hit that bell icon so you'd be notified if we have a new story for you. And after this video, don't forget to check out these videos we've attached for you. See you next time.